Adam, Ted, welcome, gentlemen. Hope your weekend's going good so far. Hey, what do you know? YouTube actually let us know on time this time. Hey, Mike. Good evening, buddy. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I'm glad people were able to make it. I'm gonna kill my phone. So there we go. Get rid of the nasty, getting that the echo. Wanted to make sure everybody could get here. Hey, Tom. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, buddy. First ever slot car Saturday Night Live. I figured I would just start a new little segment and I'd just make it on Saturday nights and I'd make it for 7 o'clock. And then we could all just, I'd throw out some topics for conversation and then we could either stick to them or just wing it from there. I just figure we all have stuff to talk about or stuff we've seen or know about. And this would be a good time to try to share it with everybody. So how's everybody Saturday going so far? Is everybody doing good? It's kind of weird not having a look what Scott's got, something to prelude to. It's just me sitting here BSing with my slot car buddies. I don't even know what we got here. We got 4 people here live. That's cool. On a Saturday night. I don't know. Adam, you said the weather was bad. Are you starting to get some of that winter weather storm that they said was moving towards the East Coast? Is that what's going on? We actually high winds. Yeah, it's been windy here today, but it was more like a typical spring type day in Missouri. It was in the upper 50s, lower 60s, but the wind, kept it kind of chill. But hey, compared to the teens that I was waking up to last weekend, this is a blessing. I'll take it anytime. Sorry, got to get rid of some of the YouTube notifications so I can see what everybody's saying. So, like I mentioned, I mean, I know that a good 90% of the people that view these live videos are actually viewing them later. So, I do want to encourage everybody that is not participating live tonight. Don't worry, you can still be a part of the conversation. I have turned on the live chat. So, if somebody pops up a question and you're wanting to know why I'm answering the way I'm answering or what I'm saying, why I'm saying it, then you'll be able to follow along there. And then, as always, I encourage everybody to leave a comment. If you guys have noticed, I'm getting a lot quicker. Whenever YouTube lets me know I actually have a comment, I get right on it. I did see some yesterday that YouTube didn't even let me know that I had gotten comments on. So I apologize for everybody. I know, Ted, you were one of them. I apologize, buddy. Thank you for leaving a comment and stopping by and checking out the video. Anyway, I believe as of when I started this tonight, I had officially caught up to everybody's comments on there. And like I said, I encourage everybody, even if you're not watching live, leave a comment below, try to interact. If you hear something or know something that you want to spread, I know there's a lot of people that, like I said, watch these after the fact, and it'd be a great time to add in a comment and maybe help in and still be able to participate with actually having to spend Saturday Night Live here with us. So I want to do personally, though, I want to thank everybody that did, take time out of your evening to show up. Like I said, there's just a few things I wanted to go over on the channel. I enjoy the interaction with everybody. I don't have anything really to show off. I did go to Hobby Lobby today. I know Matt with Patriot Hobbies posted something about how he couldn't walk into Hobby Lobby and then walk out without a car. Well, I'm the same way. Walked in there today and they had this, what is it, the 41 Willys gasser body. It's like a T-Jet. Yeah. Yeah. Thunder Ultra G. Yep. So I got this bad boy today. And then from my youth, I not necessarily don't want the whole series, but I went ahead and got the Blues Brothers there. Another cop car to add for the diorama. And then, like I said, I try to get all those pit kits that I can. So that's really all I got to show off tonight, other than just to talk about what everybody thought about the new AFX releases. If you can see here, I got, the latest, greatest thing sitting up there, and then my channel logo there. Yeah, $12. Hell yeah. Hey, Adam. All right, man. I was asking about you. I didn't realize I saw you typed on the top, but I didn't realize. Long time no see, buddy. I actually was watching whenever you went with Pro Tinker Toys to the live feed. Whenever I could check in, and every time I checked in, you guys were at the tables talking to somebody. And then this week on race night, I tuned in, and all it was a picture of the mat. There was nothing going on. So I missed everybody this week. So I'm glad you showed up, man. I enjoy your contributions to the channel, and we missed you the last time I was live, so I'm glad you could make it this time, even if it is on your phone. Thank you. And then I did get joined up. I'm back on Facebook. I did get joined up to the Pro Tinker page, and then when I get settled into the other place, then I'll start working on my own page where people can post pictures of their tracks and stuff like that on there, because I really do want to see people's home tracks on what they work with and what they ride, what they race on. Gale Force Raceway, the mayor, he had a new little short video just showing that he's working on his little wiring project and how he had to cut out holes in his table so that the jumper leads wouldn't make a little hump in the track, which I can definitely relate to. Oh, hey, cool. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate that. Yeah, no, the more the merrier. I actually had a couple of people that I actually went to high school with after I posted my video of from last week up on YouTube, and they actually joined the channel. So as of whenever I logged in today to say that I was going live, we were 25 people away from 500 on this channel, which is one of the other topics that I was going to mention about was the 500 subscriber giveaway. And I told you guys that we're here the last time, or that got to catch the Auto World edition of Look What Scott's Got, that I was going to put up a poll. And I got to thinking about it, and I was like, you know what? 500's halfway to the goal of 1,000 to try to get some monetization. Kind of like Dan did. Congratulations to Dan. He's just cruising right along now. And anyway, so that would help with more giveaways and stuff with the channel. Because like I said, I turn around, and if you can see some of the cars here, I sell some cars, and then I turn around and buy, and then that's what pays for a lot of this stuff. Because my money right now is all tied up in moving and the race car, so to speak. So it takes slot car money to buy slot cars, if that makes sense. Hey, Rich, thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it, buddy. Appreciate that, Adam. All right. And then, so what I was saying about the poll is I decided to scrap the poll, and I was like, well, why make people choose? I get like Adam, for instance, is asked if I would do a video on how I personally work on hopping up my Tycos. And I do have plans to do that. It's just obviously now that I'm moving, I need to wait till I get set up to where I have all my parts where they're accessible so I can show everybody exactly what I have. Basically, long story short, silver is the best electrical conductor. So if you're going to invest any money in any aftermarket parts that you're wanting to hop up on your car, be it springs, shoes, whatever, silver's the way to go if your budget allows it. If not, then believe it or not, brass is the next best, and then gold is the third. So I know there's a lot of places that sell gold-plated shoes and gold-plated springs, but it's the worst conductor of electricity that there is, and you're paying just for the gold that's lightly sprayed on there. So go with silver is my first tip. So as an example, whenever I started hopping up my Tycos, I spent like $200 on just nothing but Tyco silver parts, springs, brushes, brush springs, double springs, the shoes, the whole 9 yards. So I've got all of that I can lay out, and I'm going to show one of the cars that we're going to give away. I'm just going to start with a bare chassis, and then we're going to add everything from the bare chassis forward. So I know like Pro Tinker has some of those for sale, just to show somebody how literally easy it is to work on those cars. And then on the flip side, I have a lot of people that ask me, since I do race, we race mainly whenever my track is running, when it was running, we ran Mega G Pluses. And the reason for that is the simplicity. Those CAN motors are honestly a godsend in one way. And then on the other hand, they're the devil, because as Dan has shown in his latest videos at Slot Valley Racing, it's a crapshoot. You can either get one that runs, doesn't run, or just barely runs. And if how long they run, who knows? Like I said, we've got a graveyard between the four of us that were racing. We literally 4 of those IndyCar 2 packs. We went through all of those cars, and we're just down now to the literal cars that we have running. So what is that? 4 times 2, uh, 8 cars, and we're just back down to the 4 that we all started with. So that basically we've gone through like 12 cars, just racing them. And the reason for that is we like Dan does. We play with magnets. I play with tire heights, and then we play with rear ends to really speed up those motors with the gear ratios, the ring gear and pinion ring gear sets. And then I lighten them up with the front ends with the little bicycle wheels up front. The bad part is that once you do that, you pretty much committed that chassis to be a race car chassis, because the way the AFX assembles those front ends, they've got a knurled end on the axle, and so the hub is pressed on. And once you pull it off, good luck trying to get it back on there straight, because it's been grooved with those little knurls. So it's like a one-way trip. So once you've committed to making your Mega G Plus chassis a full-on racer, it's pretty much that way, unless you're just going to make it a shelf queen whenever you're done, because like I said, there's no way to put those wheels back on straight. Hey, Jack, thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. Don, all right. Got 11 of us here tonight. Thank you guys all. Sorry I got to ranting and raving about the giveaway. So long story short, I'm going to give away one of each. I'm going to show when we hit the 500, then that's when the series is going to start. I'm going to, one video will be showing the hop up on the Tyco car that we're going to give away. And then the other series will be on the Mega G Plus car that we're going to give away. And then we'll have a video explaining everything that happened with both cars. And then that'll be the video that everybody that's a subscriber is eligible to try to win the car. All you have to do is just say which car you want. And then basically just like last time, the first person that is the winner gets their pick, and then second place is going to get their pick. So 2 people are going to get 2 cars, 1 car each. And so that's going to be, like I said, my little celebration for the 500 giveaway. It's not really going to cost me a lot, I'll be honest with you, because I already have all the cars. I already have all the parts. So it's just a matter of digging them out once I get moved, and then assembling them for everybody to see, and then some little tips that I like to throw in there just to, hey, spread the wealth, just things that I have learned that help my cars personally run quicker. And that's the whole idea, right? If you're racing, it's the fastest car usually wins. The can motors are wearing out, exactly. Basically what happens is we put so much stress on them with the extra magnets and the lowering tires, and then lighten them up so that we can run as close to wide open as much as possible, except for the slow flat curves, because a lot of my track is banked. And so if you're in the middle 2 lanes, you can pretty much on those banked corners go wide open. Now, if you're in the lower or the outer on the 12 or the lower on the 9, if you try to go wide open, sometimes it'll try to kick out, or if you're on the top one, it'll kick out too far and throw you off the track. But the others, since you're in the middle 2 lanes, it gives your car a little bit of wiggle room to slide. So you can usually go wide open. That being said, we rotate lanes every, we have 4 heats. And then based on the 4 heats, basically everybody races every lane. And then based on where you finished in every heat, depends on who wins the race for the night on that particular race. But to the point of the cars, those we run them so hard, and then we got it to where we could get those cars to around the low 4 seconds to high 3 second zone around my track. And when you're running them that hard for that long, they just end up dying. It's funny. All of a sudden, it just starts chuck, and kind of like Dan did. You kind of help it, and then eventually it just gives up the ghost. And that's why I hate those things, is because if that happened to a Mega G, the series below it, or a Tyco, or a Magna Traction, or an X Traction, or even a 4-gear, you could fix it. you could put parts in it and fix it if you so desired. Those can motors are a one-way trip. AFX doesn't sell replacements for them. There are the guy that was selling them on eBay quit selling his replacement motors, which tells me that he probably had a bunch of people returning his because they were burning out. I don't know if it's because they're getting too hot and because they're sealed completely, there's no venting or what. But yeah, the quality control on those things is, pardon my French, shit. And it's you could buy a 2-pack and get 2 cars, and neither one of them run as fast as the other guys that have. So you've literally just spent 60, $80 on a 2-pack, and neither one of the cars are going to be competitive. So it's not even worth putting the money into, putting the magnets in, putting the rear end in, putting the tires on it, putting the front end on it. By the time you do that to a Mega G Plus car, you're going to have, if you go full out, maybe 60, $70, just in parts. Yeah, because if you buy 2 or 3 different tire sizes and stuff for uh, the magnets, and if you have a couple of sets of magnets, and yeah, like I said, it just adds up quick, and the next thing you know, you're tearing it apart to put all those parts in another chassis, and you're just praying that it's going to be as quick as the other ones. And we used to know right off the bat, if we got a brand new car put on the track, within a few laps, you'd know whether or not you could put your money into it, whether it was going to be worth it or not, or if you just basically had a car that was, a track cleaner is what we called them, because racing it wasn't going to be any fun. You were going to get your ass kicked because it was too slow. Yeah, I most certainly will, Ted. Hell no, I love anything to talk about cars, especially the one that I'm sinking a small fortune into right now. So, yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm so big on my Tycos, and even like the Tommy turbos. I'm sorry, they make there's plenty of these replacement motors out there. They're drop in. They're really easy maintenance. That's what like the Bulldogs are based off of. Um, Super G Plus shoes, so they're readily available. Yeah, you can buy all sorts of hop up kits for those too. But my all time favorite are my Tycos, just because of they're just so easy to work on. It's just amazingly easy. Speaking of which, Adam, are you still here with me, buddy? Oh, those freight cars. You're looking at probably anywhere from $100 to $150 a car. And that's no lie, because those guys sink in some serious money into the balanced armatures. They'll use titanium axles because they're non-magnetic, so it doesn't interfere with the motor magnets. I mean, the armatures that they have on those things, they'll balance those. They'll balance the little gears that are on the top of the pancake motors. I believe I got an example here. Yeah. So they'll actually thin up the gears up here for rotation and try to balance them out. I mean, there's just so many things that they do to those little cars to make what people call the slow cars really, really fast. And what's sad is somebody with a real freight car could probably outrun somebody with a Mega G Plus star car if it was just bone stock out of the package. And that's ironic that to think that something from like the 60s still has that kind of capability. But if you think about it, it's like anything, any motor, anything in any competition, if it stays around for a long time and enough people are interested in it, then people start modifying it and it starts going faster. So, but yeah, that's why I like watching Slot Car Crazy with Troy whenever he went down to the fray this year. I've been watching, like I said, for several years, but that's why I liked it whenever he started filming that, because seeing because I never thought these things could be that fast. Boy, was I wrong in a big way. Those things fly for what they are. And so, yeah, you can spend some serious money on one of those cars, Adam. And most of the people that race those, they're willing to put the money in it. So you're not just gonna buy a T-Jet chassis and add some oil and maybe some new brushes and springs and go good. No, those guys. Yeah, Troy is awesome. Yeah, they put a lot of money in those little cars. And then like I said, I got to thinking about it. By the time you put a set of motor magnets in a Tyco, if you bought an armature and you bought a rear end and you bought traction magnets and you bought a front end for it, yeah, you're looking $60, $70 easy, and that's not even if you don't go the silver route. So yeah, those little cars can get expensive, and that's what I wanted to ask you about, man. Have you had a chance to run the car that I got you on your track yet? How's it running? I've been curious. I haven't. I've just seen it go around that track the one time or a few times over it whenever you were at Pro Tinker with it, And that's the only time I've seen it run. I've been curious to make sure that, like I said, it's going to take a little bit of time for it to break in. But once it breaks in, man, it should haul the mail. So there's the update on the 500 subscription thing. I'm just going to give away one car of each size or style. A 440 X2 Tyco and one Mega G Plus. So while I'm waiting for Adam to type out his little reply on his phone about how the car, that Porsche that I built up for him, is working. Does anybody out there, all 10 of us, have that? Anybody get the new Mustang or Camaros that came out? Oh, cool. All right. Well, don't kill me if you get your butt kicked down in the limited class, because obviously I built it just for a home wall wart track, and there's other things that can be done to those cars that will make them faster. But if you don't have the right electrical power, you're just pissing in the wind. I mean, you're not going to get the full benefit of the car, and your controller is going to get hot, and yeah, it's just not a good thing. So. Hey, Dan. All right. Thank you for stopping by. All right, Tom, got the orange Mustang. See, a buddy of mine that I race with that has the California Special Mustang GT. He ordered the orange and the red yesterday or the day before yesterday. He's ahead of the curve on me. I dumped so much money on that Auto World stuff, and the reason why I'm pointing is because I got it all piled up over there between the track and all those cars. I've literally got to sell more cars before I can buy anything. So these two things here were probably about the extent of my budget for right now, because like I said, I bought that limited edition snake and mongoose drag set, one of only 750, and I had no intentions there. That was 150 bucks. I don't know about you guys, but my budget, right, well, I'm moving, deposits, da 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 da. Yeah, an extra $150 wasn't in the game. And then this week I had to take my smaller dog to the vet because he hurt his paw. So there went even more money that I didn't count on. So yeah, there's about the extent of Scott's slot car purchases until I sell something. Oh, cool. Thanks, Adam. Hey, Joe. All right. Thank you for stopping in tonight, buddy. Yeah, no, I love it. That's see, like I said, that's why I just threw out the topics on my promo video to try to get the conversation started. Then I want to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Like I said, I've been out for a while, and I figure if I can throw out a little bit of knowledge, and maybe you guys throw a little bit of knowledge my way, and there's no look what Scott's got. There's no pre-planned agenda. It's just kind of free flowing. I kind of liked what Dan was doing with his live feeds like that. That's a good idea. So I stole it from him. I just renamed it, and I'm going to put it on every Saturday night. Which brings me to the fourth and final topic before I'll open it up to just whatever. And that was, as you guys do know, or may not know, I have Scott's House of HO Racing, where I buy and sell slot cars, mainly used ones or new old stock that's packaged that I've gotten a good deal on. And then I've been doing those buy before Evil Bay videos, and I had a few people buying them like that. But I noticed that a lot of people like the live auction thing, and so I was going to throw it out there that if you guys wanted, or if there was enough interest, I'll put it that way. I'm not trying to push my cars on anybody, but I know a lot of people that watch my channel watch Pro Tinker Toys, and some of the cars that style of type of cars that they're selling, I also sell. And my prices don't go near for what Brian's do. So you guys, could get a good deal on some cars for both of us, basically, is what I'm getting at. Because he sells some cars that sometimes I can't even touch as far as price goes. So it just all depends, like I've said, and it takes, two people to determine what a car is worth. So, but anyway, what I thought I would do, starting on next Saturday's Slot Car Saturday Night Live, would be to have a little throw out 5 cars that I was going to be throwing on eBay on Sunday night or on Sunday if nobody on my channel or that viewed my channel that was a subscriber was interested in them. But I figured I'd start giving you guys first dibs on them. And then that way, if someone did want them, you get a better deal than you would if you get on eBay. I don't charge tax, and you only pay actual shipping to your door. I'm not one of those people that charges extra fees for anything. Dan knows this. He's purchased cars, several cars from me, and um, uh, uh, Bill Fry, or I'm not Bill Fry, Fry TV. Um, he's he's bought a few. I'm just trying to think of people that are on. Mike has bought some. Steffi got hers for free, but Mike has bought several cars too. Jack, I believe, Don, Ryburn, Pat with By the Beach. So I've sold a lot of cars to a lot of people on the page, but I noticed that, like I said, the live auction thing, and then what's cool about me being able to do live auction versus just doing the little video thing is I can answer your questions about the car and tell you anything that I know about it, or show you the car, or pop out the old 9-volt battery to prove that it works, whatever I need to do. Cause I only sell cars that run. And then if they are brand new, like I said, they'll be brand new. So like as an example, I cleaned this one up and got it ready to go. And I was getting ready to pop it on eBay tomorrow. And I was like, you know what? I bet there's somebody out there on my channel that would love to have this car. I mean, because it goes both ways. It's a shelf queen or a runner. And when I got it, I thought I was just going to keep it as a runner. But then I got to looking at it, and the decals are perfect. I mean, it's just in great shape. And it's one of those older cars that I feel guilty on racing and destroying, where someone else might not. You know what I'm saying? But I've already got one of these that came in that Infinity race set, and one of the ones that I did from Look What Scott's Got. And I already had one that was already up in my case. So I actually have 3 of these now. So as an example, this would be one of the cars that I would be auctioning off. Um, the Mike Skinner #3 truck, the Dale Earnhardt car. I mean, I've got, like I said, not only loose cars, but I've got brand new in the package cars too. So, okay, well, Adam's for it. Hey, the dude, all right. What controller? Okay, so I get that question a lot, and I can't push it enough, and that's OS3, one stop slot shop, and I use their IROC series, and the reason why is because it has variable ohms on it, and it's kind of the same but different than what Dan's been showing on Slot Valley Racing with the controller that he uses from the 70s when it had the 3 different settings. This one's infinite, so you can fine tune it. And the beauty of that is that you can run your newer cars at the high ohm, and then you can run your older cars at the low ohm. And all you have to do is just turn the dial. And then what that does is that's going to adjust the sensitivity for your trigger. If you've ever tried to use a Mega G Plus car with a older Aurora 40 ohm or 45 ohm controller, if you just barely touch that trigger, the car flies. And then if you put an older car on a 120 controller, it barely moves. So yeah, that's why I would suggest those. And I got their IROC series. They come red, red, yellow, and blue, and then a clear for the white one. And that way I got it for each of the lane colors. But you don't have to, do that. They sell them individually too. But that's why I did that. Now I've seen some other people have that DeFalco, and that's basically along the same lines. I just went with the One Stop Slot Shop OS3 because they had the colors, so it would match the lanes for my track. And so those would be the house controllers. And then if someone else wanted to spend more money or buy their own controller, then they could. Now, before that, I went with, since we were just running the Mega Gs on my Mega G Pluses and the Mega Gs on my track, we had bought some of those DS controllers that have a 3-way switch. I believe it goes 120, 90, and something else, you know what I'm saying? But you could and it was what they call a wiper. It doesn't have the friction resistor in it. It's a wiper board. So it's a lot smoother, easier to control. And I bought one of those, and another guy that raced bought one of those. And then I got the base model Parma that I included for one of my track. And then whoever was the last one there, if all the good controllers were taken, then they got stuck with the one of the stock 120 ohms. Adam, I am honestly praying that the reason why Mattel didn't renew the contract with Auto World is because they saw how much money that Auto World was making, and they do like I think it's like toy manufacturers got to look into the future and try to look at trends and try to see what's popular, because they don't want to make a bunch of junk that's going to end up at the dollar store, in the bargain bucket, and they want to sell it all over the world, especially a toy company like Mattel. Um, Electric cars. I mean, I've mentioned this several times, and I know it sounds like I'm beating a dead drum, but it's the honest to God truth. Whether I want them to take over or not, because I own a hot rod, a V8 motor, not a battery with an electric motor. So I want to see those stick around, but I also am a realist and understand that when Chevrolet's already committed to going full electric, and Dodge Mopar has said that I think 26 or so, that's their last 25, 26 is their last piston powered gasoline, powered car, sports car, no more red eye Challengers and stuff. I think they got a new name for their electric one too, but I can't remember what it was, but you get the point. Kids are going to grow up with electric cars. And if they see an electric car and then they have an electric slot car, see where I'm getting at? It's relatable. So they start out with a Hot Wheel to push around. Then you get them this, and then it's relatable to what mommy and daddy will be driving or parking in the garage or in the driveway. Not so much maybe now, but that's the future. And so that's what you got to look at. And so if kids are going to be able to relate to something more than 30 seconds, then you're going to have to make it something that they're familiar with. And so, if they see mommy and daddy hopping an electric car and plugging it in, then it's going to be easy for them to say, oh, I'm racing, mommy and daddy's type of car, especially when AFX is doing cars like this, putting out brand new cars. And then Auto World with their, Too Fast, Too Furious series, and, all those imports and stuff like that. That's what's going to bring the youth in. I personally can't stand the little fart pipe cars, but that's okay, because those kids like them, and they actually help keep my hobby with drag racing afloat, with them going to the racetrack and trying to see how fast their little 2-liter motor can go down the track. And so I'm all about it, whether they're racing a 4-cylinder or a V8, just get out there and race and help support them, because, unless people race, there's no reason for other manufacturers to make parts for it. Hey, no problem to do. In fact, whenever I get my tables, whenever I'm going to show me assembling the table with my buddies, because it's going to take a couple of us, because it's so damn heavy after all that sound deadening and stuff. I'll show you how I made the legs modular. So no unbolting, I just used carriage bolts. And anyway, when I do the wiring, I'll have those one-stop slot shop controllers that I'll be showing how, those will be the ones I'll be using on my table. So I'll be able to show it. What I'm getting at is show the difference in the different ohms depending on what car you're running, depends on how you want to maybe adjust your controller for your feel. Because a lot of it's going to come down on your trigger feel. A lot of people don't like to move their controller, the thing a lot. Some people like a big sweep, so it makes them feel like they're hitting the brakes or whatever, Oh yeah, the all pro look. Yeah. Yeah. See, I was on the fence about wiring my track with brakes or not, and I decided not to, because of all the power taps that I already have. And I didn't, as the mayor's finding out, Gale Force Raceway, hard wiring your track is kind of a pain in the ass. I'll just be honest, to say the least. So, the auction next Saturday night. So like Wednesday night, you want me to do a preview video of the 5 cars that I'll be doing for the slot car Saturday Night Live for next Saturday. And like I said, if someone buys them, they buy them. If they don't, they don't. Then I'll just put them on eBay. It's no big deal to me. But I figure if I could offer them at a discount, because I have to mark them up when I put them on eBay. I'll be honest, because eBay's fees, it's just outrageous. They got more than just one finger in the pie. They got 2. They charge you to sell the thing, and they charge you to ship the thing, which boggles the mind. Cold checking, yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. If you notice, I got my Bible out right here for the Tyco stuff, so I could readily answer questions on some Tyco cars. And then someone had mentioned, and whenever I was doing the Auto World feed, that um, on the Auto World site they had previews of the new dragsters with the canopies. Where is that? I have not. I've looked all over their page for exclusives, and I don't see any of those dragsters. Where are they at? Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, that's I won't have my own personal Kolchak picture, but yeah, that's exactly what I'll be doing. Oh, it's in the video. Okay, I haven't had that chance to check that out. Like I mentioned on one of my comments on your one of your videos, Dan, there are so many people, which I am loving it by the way. So many people right now making videos with slot car content, and I don't know about you guys, but Friday night I literally sat down and I just started watching stuff from everybody's slot car channel that had posted something from the week that I had missed. And next thing I look up and it's 11 o'clock. I was like, holy hell, that's all I did was just watch, slot cars. So I'm loving it. So if any of you guys, like I know Dan, he's a creator. If there's any other creators out there, keep up the good work, man. The more people that are aware of slot cars, like I drew in, like I mentioned, when I put it on my Facebook page, I had classmates that I went to high school with that I haven't spoken to in 20 years, literally 20 years, and reached out to me about the slot car thing. And one of them said that he built a track in his basement a few years back. And he thought it was cool that I had a 4-lane track. And so, you know what I'm saying? It's just, he didn't realize that it was that big of a deal. He just did it for him and his family. And so, like I said, the more people that know about it, it's just going to blow it up. And honestly, I think that's why Mattel didn't renew with Auto World is because I think they honestly are seriously reconsidering maybe tiptoeing right back into it just to see because it's like I mentioned before, their small number that they would get would be huge because they're global. I know Auto World's global too, but Mattel and Hot Wheels is in every store everywhere. I mean, I can't go to a grocery store in Springfield, Missouri without there being Hot Wheels on a pegboard somewhere in that store anywhere in this town. So that just tells you the reach of Mattel. So if they just order a few, it's really a lot because they want to stock something in all those stores. Mattel owns the patent. That's why they tried to turn it into Hot Wheels electric racing, Dan. Is because they were trying to rebrand it because they thought Tyco kids understood that Tyco was old and Hot Wheels was new and fresh, and plus it was easier to tie into their line of their metal cars. That's hence the series from the last video of the Hot Wheels series that Auto World did. Those were actually old diecast cars that they had done redid for slot car. And like I mentioned several times in the past, as many of these chassis that they produce, think about it, guys. You can still buy brand new wide and narrow chassis on Pro Tinker's page, Jag Hobbies. Uh, I think you can get them just about any hobby shop that sells hop up parts. Still has brand new old stock Bear chassis, and then between Wizard, Viper, Arden Creek's AMC series that he has. Um, there's all sorts of extra parts for them too. That's why I just love those cars. Um, big time, big time. Is like I said, because the parts easy to work on and relatively inexpensive. I mean, if you were just to buy this common Kyle Petty car, brand new off a Pro Tinker site, what is it, like $20, I think, bare, just not in the package or something like that, 20, $25. And you could put another 20 or $25 in it, you'd have a screaming little car. I mean, that would put you with traction magnets, dual spring for your shoes, new shoes, and a bicycle front end kit. And yeah, I mean, and you'd have a little screamer, and it'd be consistently fun too. That's what I was making fun of is I've pulled Auto World cars, which unfortunately, Dan, you've had the problem with AFX lately, but I put Auto World cars out of the package and they've been missing a spring for the shoe, so it wouldn't even run. This Tommy is every bit of 25 plus years old, and I can guarantee you it runs. And so the durability, and that's why I mentioned I hope that if they got back into it, maybe it might encourage the other two manufacturers of slot car stuff to pick up their game for quality control, because that's what they're sadly lacking in on the Auto World side. And then AFX, don't get me wrong, is like we all know their customer service is great, but I don't want to wait 2 or 3 days for a car if I'm racing that night. If my car dies that night, if I'm running a Tyco, I can fix it. If I have a can motor, I'm waiting, or I'm buying, or I'm digging one out of the case that's hopefully close to as fast as the one that I was racing with. Exactly. Yeah, you just all you have to do to search patents is go to the patent office. Now from there on online, US.gov, us.gov. Now from there, I don't know where you would. Yes, EJ. See, even they knew their car was a joke. Like I said, I've got a, Chase Elliott number 24 when he first came into NASCAR Super 3 that is literally my track cleaner, warmer upper, whatever. That before the guys come over, I wipe down the track with a microfiber towel the best I can, and then to warm up all the lanes and stuff, I've got a couple of cars that I call my lane warmers, and that one I can hold it wide open on my flat corners, my hairpin corners. It's a piece of shit. It just doesn't run. I mean, wide open. And for them to actually invest the money to do that, that was awesome. But I think they've already kind of shot themselves in the foot when they didn't apply the new stuff to the new series when it came out, and then you had to buy another one of the same car to get the stuff. Is my understanding. It was, yeah. No goo gone. no, no goo gone here. I hear theories both ways, guys. I use whenever I'm cleaning my cars, I use soap and water. I when I tear them down, I've got, like I showed you, that little bucket that I use for the with the oven cleaner, to clean, deep clean stuff. I use that same thing for. I just put in some Dawn dishwashing liquid. I got that soft bristle brush. Put in some warm water, soak it in there, and just scrub away and clean it. I found that's the best, unless they have sticky on stickers. And what I mean by that is like, here's the perfect example. Just speaking of which, completely unplanned. That's why I left those cars out here just in case. Got to talking. This one's got it molded in up here at the top. This one's actually a sticker. So this one you would not want to dunk in the water, because just like every sticker, it's going to lose its sticky and it's going to come off. This one you can wash all day. So obviously it depends on the car you have, but if they don't have a real sticker on them like this, then yeah, they get the Dawn bath is what I call it, and then I go through my Novus stuff. Yep. You see? Well, I am from Missouri, and I am a self-proclaimed hillbilly from Missouri. So you may hear some home cooking, what I call home cooking words. Something that maybe I spit out of my mouth that may be familiar from around here, but not necessarily to the rest of the world, because we all of our own areas in the world have their own little slangs, and like y'all and yins and stuff like that. Hey, Mike, thank you for stopping in, buddy. Got 17 of us here tonight. Thank you guys so much for showing up. So I think it was, I can't remember, $25 new for that one, Dan. Okay, yes, I knew it was somewhere in there. I'm trying to catch up here. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, cool. No, so like I said, I know a buddy of mine's got those AFX coming. As soon as I sell some cars, then I know I'm going to have mine coming, and then we'll have a look what Scott's got, the AFX edition, kind of like we had the Auto World edition. The updates on the house. I can officially start moving a week from today, and I'm moving the man cave first. And I got to go by there today and actually check out the bedrooms just to pull out the old tape measure and yeah. I took it with me and make sure that the room, and I have plenty of room in the with the new man cave for the new table for the track and everything to be set back up again. My desk, so it'll substitute as a workstation for the cars when it's not an actual workstation for work. and um, so no, I'm excited, really excited. More, it's bigger than my last room, which means I'll be able to put up more stuff on the walls, which is awesome. Now, like I mentioned, I'm not going to put up those clouds and stuff again. That way I can have more room for cars. Because, like I said, I was literally running out of wall space for cars. And then um, I thought it was something unique that I'm toying with the idea, and that is getting some shelves and displaying my tracks. You know, because that track art on those boxes on some of those is pretty cool, especially some of the older stuff. So I've been toying with that idea to use that as like big blocks of stuff. Oh yeah, see, someone mentioned that they kind of got hooked at them on me doing my packing videos because I was so consistent with, I was on like 3 or 4 days a week there for about a month and doing all that, the packing and wrapping. Um, and I told them, well, get ready because whenever it goes in the opposite direction, I'll do that again live too. I'll just do the hey, what's Scott unpacking tonight, or whatever, and we'll spend a couple hours just going in reverse. And so if that way, if somebody missed some of the packing and wanted to see some of the cars from the collection, then they'd be able to catch them that way too. I cannot. Oh God, I'm so excited to finally be able to get my stuff and get it out and seeing everybody building. I mean, Dan is literally building a whole drag strip in Gale Force Raceway. The mayor is literally building a whole drag strip. I mean, people are building whole tracks while I'm like stuck here in neutral and my clutch is burned out. So yeah. Woo! Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The old Ric Flair. Uh-huh. Yeah, Dan's kind of raised the bar. Yeah, yeah. That on his video, you notice, guys, this is about my. I know it's kind of reflective, but I've got the just a couple of scenes from the latest video up. This is about the limit of my editing. I know that my software that I purchased for video editing will allow me to do pictures and pictures, and it'll allow me to do voiceovers and I honestly, time right now, I'm still learning my new job and then, yeah, it's just learning, trying to teach an old dog new tricks right now is just not something that this old dog wants to work on. Eventually, I may try some of that stuff, but for right now, getting my name on there and maybe looking at like it does something or scrolling up or down, or, fading in or fading out, that's about the limit of my skills right now. But back to the track stuff. You guys haven't even seen half of the stuff that I've got to go on the track for the diorama, and that's some of the most what I'm looking forward to the most is what's showing off some of the authentic stuff that's going on the track. Some of like those sight and sound bleachers, the Aurora, those AFX bleachers. I'm not going to have them wired in, but I have several of those. I've got several of the larger grandstands that they made, a couple of them that are going to go on the track. I got one that's brand new in the box I showed whenever we were doing the little tour. I just got a lot of cool things. Got a Goodyear blimp that's, that we're actually going to blow up. That's going to, hang over the track, make it authentic, man. And every car on the track will run. So, you know, if I have a police car on there or something, you know, an ambulance or whatever, we could theoretically stick it on the track and let it run. And then all the decorations I'm using are um, nothing that's been modern made. It's all authentic. So it's either all Aurora model motoring, old Faller stuff, or just old AFX Aurora stuff like that. Or Tyco did that too. Yeah, the Revmatic. That's the ones that U of M, Ted. Thank you. I knew they make the god awful sound that apparently back in the day was awesome, but whatever. It's kind of like those the little sound boxes in the AFX cars. You know, that little thing just popping up and down. You know, they just made your car slow is all they did, because it was dragging it down and popping that thing up and down, spinning those gears. In my opinion, I always took mine out. I got one of those for Christmas, I believe. It was my Datsun Bree, and it was supposed to sound like a real car. It did sound pretty cool about the first 2 laps, and then it got really annoying. And then I learned real quick that I'd take out that sound box and put it on another car and use that car's clip on my Datsun, so I could race my Datsun without having to hear that clackety clack buzz. Magnasonic, there it is. See, I'm glad. That's why I love this. Somebody's got my back here. I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know the exact name for it right now while we're off the cuff. Hey Ed, thank you for joining in, man. I keep looking down because I've got the computer about as close to as in front of me as I can, and still being able to be in front of you guys. Like I said, there's really nothing to show off other than just what I showed off with what I got at Hobby Lobby. It was main thing was just I wanted to spend some time BSing and seeing if this Saturday night, Slot Car Saturday Night Live was something that everybody was interested in, and if so, like I said, I'll just keep doing it every Saturday night. Since there's a little bit of interest in the auction thing, whether you want to buy something or not, I still encourage you to stop by on every Saturday night, because I'll just do that at first, kind of like Pro Tinker does, but I won't go into racing after that. We'll just go right into, talking about the latest stuff, or new releases, or stuff that people have found on other web pages or stuff like that. One thing I do want to throw out there to everybody that's on the PTT webpage, if you're on Facebook at all, you need to locate Bob Beers and I think his webpage is called Mr. Aurora. Anyway, he is, you've got to message him personally and get on a list to purchase his next 2 limited edition cars that he's going to be releasing next month. Thankfully, since I've purchased from him in the past, I've already gotten that thumbs up, so I'm on the list. But I can guarantee you guys, it's the 60s giveaway Mustangs that he's redone, and they're on the 1.7 chassis and their own collector edition with a little medal that what they gave away to the winners in the package. I think he said they're going to start at like $79.99 or something like that. But if you're a collector, you don't want to miss this chance. Whenever he does these special productions with Aurora Race Masters, 3,000 is it. And that's why those blue Ford GTs that I have autographed are really special to me, because like I said, it's got his autograph on them. And I know there's only, 3,000 or less of those cars out there besides what he has for his personal. And he's doing the same thing with these Mustangs, and they look really cool. So look next time you guys are on Facebook, I strongly suggest you try to look him up if you're into collecting AFX cars, or if you like just a little bit of AFX history. It's the 2 cars that Ford gave away to the winners of the Grand National Slot Car Championships, and he had Race Masters reproduce those cars on the Mega G Plus chassis. And it's my understanding from reading on his page that AFX is going to make some of those cars in different colors later on this year. Yeah. Hey, Fry. Yeah. Yeah. See, Adam, that's one of the things I've been really debating on is when I go to the races, my time is always spent making sure my car's ready to go for the next run. You know what I'm saying? And but I also I see the entrepreneur in me sees the opportunity because of the number of adults that take their kids to the races to set up. I've got a 10 by 20 pop up that I normally would use for my car. I could obviously buy another one of those and put it right next to the car and get a couple of banquet tables and put those together, put a checkered flag tablecloth on them and put one of those Auto World drag strips on it and charge like $5 to have 5 drag races. And then the winner gets a free soda, or like my mom makes these can koozies for me. And my car is named Grim GT. And the thread that I bought for them is glow in the dark. And so, I could give away one of those or something. But that it's so simple for a little kid. They're at the drag races anyway. You put up a drag strip right there, and then they get to participate. Get them hooked. Hey, Mayor. Thank you for stopping by, man. I was bragging on your video you just posted out earlier today about doing the wiring. See, okay, so Adam, yes, I've already got the place where I can buy these can koozies wholesale. And so that's what I do. I buy them 50 at a time. And then my mother, when she retired, before my dad was getting all sick and stuff, um, she could just put them in the embroidery machine. And then, yeah. So I have made, I don't have that much money in them. So it's really easy for me I gave all 50 of mine away. I didn't charge anybody anything for any of them. If they came up and started talking to me about the car, I'd ask them if they wanted a free koozie. Oh, that's all right, man. We're just BSing. What concert you at? Like a rock concert or? And so back to the koozie thing. Once I think I'm going to go on Fiverr and see about somebody trying to design a logo for my Scott's House of HO Racing. And then once I have that, her embroidery machine is computer controlled. So if they just put it on the format, then her system converts a picture into the sewing program, and that's how I got my little Grim Reaper. That was actually just a picture of the Grim Reaper that her embroidery thing did. So yeah, Fiverr. Yeah, is that what you did for yours, Dan? I was going to ask you who came up with yours. I love your logo. Cool. If you don't mind me asking, was it moderately priced? I mean, was it expensive? So? I mean, I don't know. I haven't even priced it. I just saw the ads on TV, and I was like, yeah, I could use somebody to make a logo for me, and that's where I got the idea, because I was going to try to design one myself, and I'm doing good to change colors on Scott's House of HO Racing, so I decided that moderately. Okay, cool. Do you have? I know that those guys are independent. Do you have someone that you would recommend? I mean, if you do, message me and let me know. I mean, I'm all about helping people that have helped other people. You know what I'm saying? Keep it going. Oh no, it's definitely worth it, dude. Because look at all the stuff you're able to. You got your coffee mugs going on. You've got the little logos going on your racetrack and shit like that. That's great. Yes, yes. See, uh, every time I pick up my koozie, I know it's all about branding, guys. Yeah, it's all about branding. Yeah, so if you can brand and get it out there, and see, that would be more stuff like I was gonna give away. It's just like, hey, we've reached this certain milestone. Going to give away a can koozie, a couple of stickers or this. Oh, you can do logos? Well, I know I can do some swapping with you. I wouldn't have to pay you. I just have to swap out cars. I'd like that idea even better. Hey, cool. Thanks, man. Let me know what I owe you for your time, because like I tell everybody, time's valuable. It's the one thing we can't buy that we all wish we could. And that's all I'm about. I know you guys can't see the nightmare behind me, but I literally have just I've been boxing up stuff, and I have this behind me here just looks like it's ready to be moved. And so I seeing this just makes me these here are the ones that I just been cleaning up and getting ready to sell. Not this one. Believe it or not, okay, so just to show you, like I said, every time somebody, I like to pay it forward. And I think this is just karma coming back in a good way to me for doing that. Is because, like I said, I don't try to screw anybody, and I make a horrible car salesman because I'm just way too honest. Anyway, so I bought this car on eBay for $15. And I told the person that I bought it off of, it was 20 after shipping, 15 plus 5 shipping. And I told them, I was like, thank you. If you could, make sure you wrap it up good. And if you're interested, check out my slot car channel. Well, the person that I bought it from checked out my YouTube channel, and they said, well, I like your channel and I have no use for these. So he just gave them to me, threw them in. Kind of like the guy that gave me the free dump truck, the brand new US1 Tyco dump truck. This hobby, guys, I'm telling you, is full. It gives me goosebumps saying it because it's true. This hobby is just full of some of the best freaking people out there. I'm not saying you have to be a good person to give away something. I'm just saying that even if you don't give away something, that's the kind of mentality that we all have. Hey, if I can't use it, I'll give it to someone else that can. Or, hey, I've got something I know will help them, and that's why I'm always trying to throw out every tip that I have if I, think of it or something like that. So as far as projects go, no, I don't have anything other than, like I said, I was doing the Novus thing and the cleanup for these and making sure they all ran. Like I said, I got, this is about the extent of look what Scott's got. I got the Blues Brothers and the Willis, I guess is, well, they call it Willie's, but it should be Willis. Or Willie's, I guess it is. Yeah. Anyway, the little pit kit. And I got those at at the Dollar General. And like I said, I've got all my parts and everything ever since I put your chassis together, Adam, I just tucked it all back away because I tried setting up that sight and sound NASCAR track, and let's just say I'd forgotten how aggravating it is to race your cars on the carpet. That's a nightmare. Hey, Dennis. Thank you for stopping in, Mayor. Enjoy your concert, buddy. Have a good night. Yeah, EJ. Yeah, no, that's just it. This one is like brand new. Now the Thunderbird here, I can tell it's been ran. It's got a few little, running rubbing marks from the guardrails, and you can tell where some of the tampos worn off around the circle for the 7 from picking it up right there. But this is a good runner, and I'm going to have a whole class of these that I'm going to put LED lights in. As you can see, it's a lighted chassis. And I'm going to put LED lights in them. Take my cue from Steve at Stockpile Hobbies, and lighting like what Dan did, and then I'm going to put. They make different shades of these inserts right here. So you have a clear, white bulb, but then you can have red, yellow, green, whatever. So that way you can turn off the lights in the room, just have the lights from the track that you have set up like what Dan does, and then have your cars lighted and still be able to see them. It'd be pretty cool. So I'm going to have a whole series. So this will be a nice little backup body. And this one, like I said, this one, I didn't even have to clean it. I mean, all I did was Novus it. It's perfect. It doesn't even look like it's had anything underneath it. Never been ran. How they normally have some sort of goo or some sort of telltale black in the corners. Nope. So like I said, just gave it to me for free. Obviously I gave her or him a rave review on the sale. Yeah, hey, Steve, thank you for stopping. Yes, you are good like that, my friend. See, I don't necessarily get to comment on everybody's videos. I try, guys, I really do, because I know that helps the algorithms. The more people that interact with your channel, because it kicks it out there as being a like something trending on YouTube or the news or Twitter or whatever. So I try to, but I don't always get to. And man, between you and Dan's little shorts and Matt with Patriot Hobbies, I love those. Little 60 seconds of some kick-ass rock and roll music and some slot car action or pictures of cars. It's pretty cool. I caught on now, Dan. Yeah, is this BYOB? No, you're good, man. I'm the one that's been slacking. I've been MIA. That's why I was like, you know what? I don't have anything to show off. So today, after I got the old, what's left of the haircut, went to two Hobby Lobbies, and that's all I was able to get that cars that I didn't already have or that I even wanted. I'm zero interest in the Looney Tunes stuff, so that's what both of them had mainly, or the funny car. Who was it? J.R. Todd. Yeah, J.R. Todd's DHL funny car at both places. And so I actually got the only Blues Brother, and I got the only pit kit left, just so I'd have something to show besides just me rambling here. See, and that's exactly why I did that, Adam. Thank you for pointing that out, my friend. And that's why I put it out. I put it on Facebook. Try to get some of the people that have reached out to me. Like I said, I talked to two guys that I haven't talked to, literally guys in over 20 years that I went to school with, from the time I was in the fourth grade till the time we graduated high school, and hadn't talked to them. Just saying, you just when life hits and you graduate high school and you're not forced to be around each other, and one guy goes out of state, or one guy goes to this college or whatever. Down with the Looney Tunes. Yeah, no, I can't get into those. Yes, Adam, I agree. Hey, Don, thanks for the tip. There we go. See, I could get a brand new body, pop out the plastic on this one, still have my runner, and then have a NOS loose that I can stick up in the case. Good idea. Thanks for pointing that out. Speaking of which, I went to they had the St. Patty Day sale, and I didn't get a chance to call or talk to anybody because obviously Brian was out of town and Ryan and you guys were at the slot car show. But the shipping, what the hell happened to the shipping cost? I was going to order their three exclusives, and the shipping came to like $13. What the hell? I didn't know if there was something wrong with the shipping thing or whatever. So I put those bad boys back out of the cart because I'm like, that doesn't cost $6 to ship from Ohio to Missouri. So something's wrong with the weight adjustment on, for cost to ship it. That's why I was like, yeah, I'll just wait and talk to Ryan or Brian or whoever and say, what's going on with the shipping? I don't need it UPS, put it first class postage. It's gotten here every time. I'm good with that. Oh yeah, no, no, no. Like I said, I wasn't dogging on them. I knew something was wrong because that would literally be over double what it would literally cost per weight for those three little cars to be shipped here. I just know because I sell cars and I ship cars, so I know what shipping rates go for. And generally speaking, if you can keep it under a pound, um, your rates are dirt cheap. I keep mine under like 8 ounces is what I try to do on and most I pay is like 5 to 5.5 here in the United States. Now, obviously, Dan and Fry know that whenever I ship out to Canada, They pay, you guys have to get charged extra for the shipping, apparently in Canada, because they want to take it on a tour of the whole country before it's going to arrive where they're going to deliver it to you. I've never seen a shipping system like that. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Dan. But I thought the weight was wrong. I was like, man, I only ordered 3 cars. I can understand if I ordered, 6 or 7, that bumps up the weight. But even then, that would have been high. Yeah, see, there you go. The eBay is that shipping cards. Yeah, Adam. Yeah, no, and Steve too. I just knew just from my personal experience that there was something wrong, and I was like, you know what, I'm glad I didn't, because I ended up using that money to pay the vet for the dog. But yeah, I was like, I don't see that they're going to be sold out in the next week or two, so I think I'm good. One mug to the United States. That's insane, man. Like I said, is Fry, and Dan, and Mike, if you're still here. I ship through Ship Pirate, and I get to watch the package go, and I literally watch go from Springfield, Missouri to St. Louis, and then up to the distribution spot just across, just before the border. Then it crosses right across the border, and then it goes all the way up to northern Canada, and then comes all the way back down. That's why they charge so much for shipping, is because it's got to go taking a cross country tour. He's all better now. I had put him on amoxicillin for a little bit of infection. He broke his one of his claws, and he wouldn't let me tear it off, and so we had to go have the vet cut it off, and then had his little foot in a bandage, and he had quit eating because it was starting to get infected, and like I said, he wouldn't let me touch it. So yeah. Adam, yes, the car itself is still in stasis because the motor. I'm literally they said 6 to 8 weeks for my pistons, and they've been saying that since January. So I'm hoping April, May, June. I don't know. Um, I use Trick Flow twisted wedge heads, and they're like everything in racing, they're not just an off the shelf type piston with my heads. So they have to make them in a certain run, is what they call. They make a certain batch at a time, because the way the combustion chamber is on my cylinder heads, you have to rotate the valve pockets on the top of the piston. So they haven't ran my style of heads pistons yet through their machine. So I gotta wait my turn in line. I'll just tell you right now, they're going to mass produce, or they're going to get out the stuff that sells the quickest, and that's going to be Chevrolet parts, big block Chevrolet, and that's yeah, Chevy LS. Summer racing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, no. Summit doesn't sell what I'm trying to buy here, though. I mean, I guess they could if they called up Diamond and did it, but I don't even think they carry Diamond pistons. That's what the name of the company is, Diamond Pistons. And then even if I did have the pistons, the rings that are going to go in it are total steel rings, and they're 4 to 6 weeks out. And so he didn't even order the rings until he got confirmation on when the pistons were going to be done, because there wasn't any sense to, you know. So yeah. 1990. Yes. In fact, I used a lot of Summit, Jegs, Competition Plus, Rock Auto, believe it or not. A lot of those companies. I built my car myself. That I all the stuff that I could build, or I bought the parts and assembled it myself. The only things I didn't build myself were, I mean, I bought all the parts for it, and I had built motors, but I let a professional race engine builder build my engine. and I let a professional race transmission builder build the transmission, and the same thing with the rear end, and the same thing with the welding of the roll cage. But anything else like the wiring, the gauges, the plumbing, the fuel system, yeah, I did it all. The whole suspension, I did it all. The front end, the K member, the struts, the rear end, upper, lower. Yeah, I did it all. In fact, I painted my Mustang before, while it was, when I was working on it the first time, while I was waiting on the motor to get back from the engine builder. I put it up on jack stands, used newspaper and taped it to the floor, and made a cocoon underneath my car, and chemically cleaned the whole bottom of the car, and then scuffed it, and rattle can bombed it with O'Reilly's, an auto parts store here in Springfield. In fact, their headquarters is Springfield, Missouri. That's where they came from. In fact, I dated a Lauren O'Reilly of the O'Reilly family. Wish I would have never broke up with her, but that's a whole other story. Um, anyway, they will mix whatever color of car that you have's paint and put it in spray cans for you. And so I had them mix up my color for my Mustang, and I spray painted the whole bottom of my car. Oh, Motion Raceworks. They sell a lot of nice stuff, and his brother, the TBM brakes. I'd love to have those brakes, but just the front two rotors and hub assembly up there, $1,800 for my Mustang for just a pair of front brakes. Yeah, Texas Speed is known for his Chevy and nitrous motors. Yeah, that's where I need what I call OPM, other people's money. That's why I had some sponsors on my car. Whenever I'll post a picture of the car on the page, or give it to where someone can post up there if they want to. You'll see I had a few sponsors, like a Missouri Horse Auction. They would pay for my entry fee to the track. CNR Racing Transmissions. That was my buddy that passed away. He turned into a buddy after he was building my transmissions for me. Um, uh, he would assemble the transmissions for me, and all I had to do was buy the parts, which was really cool. Show Me Speed is a local speed shop here in the Springfield, Missouri area. Wes and his family, Kim and everybody, they would give me dyno time on their dynometer to help me tune the motor and stuff like that. So I didn't get a lot. People didn't write me a check and hand me anything. They either paid for something or gave me a service or something like that out of it. And that's as good as cash to me, because the bottom line is I was going to have to pay for it anyway. So, if all I have to do is stick your sticker of your business on my back window or on the side window. Winkle Color Works was one of my other sponsors. Another same thing. When I worked for Snap-on, Kerry was the automotive director for our technical college here in Springfield, Ozarks Technical College, and he retired, opened up his own paint shop, Wrinkle Color Works. And anyway, so he would do my paint work on my car, and all I'd have to do is buy the materials and stuff like that. So, oh, I know who Cletus is. I am supremely jealous of Cletus, because that guy has made enough money on YouTube to buy a racetrack, buy an airplane. He's got a fleet of race cars. He gets to travel the world. Hell, I see him on Hot Rod Garage TV, Faster with Finnegan, all that from YouTube, guys. He bought a racetrack. That's amazing. Yeah, because he's a down-to-earth guy. He'd be just like I wasn't born with the proverbial silver spoon jammed up my ass, and nothing against anybody that was, because we don't pick our, when we're born, we don't pick our social status. At that point in time, it's just you're born into it. So I hold nothing against those people, but the people that I can appreciate that have stuff more are the people that worked for it and earned it. And they just didn't ask for it for a birthday present or something like that. They actually had to go work a 9 to 5 or work at another part-time job or whatever. I mean, and people realize that people are genuine like that, and they don't mind helping out somebody like that because it's like, hey man, that guy's trying to do something cool, and if my $5 will help him, then here's $5. Thing about YouTube is if you have 1,000 people give you $5, well, you just made $5,000. So, hey, Robert, there we go. Just get some of that Canadian money coming down here. I did not know that he owned part of that, Adam. That's cool. Thanks for the heads up. See, I knew he got a lot of their stuff on their car. See, I've been following. He's got put a Godzilla motor in the Mustang, and I was watching a Sick Week with Tom Bailey's Sick Week down in Florida, and I think that thing, his Mustang died like the second race. Grimfish Racing. I like it. There's a okay, so I don't know if a lot of you guys know this. Okay, so there's an activewear or t-shirt company called Nitro Fish, and it's owned by Kenny Koretsky. And the Koretsky family just literally bought the whole drag strip. So when you said Grimfish Racing, the first thing that popped into my mind was the Nitro Fish logo of that skeleton piranha, basically. I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah. Turbo whistles in the exhaust pipe to the real thing. Yep. Those Godzilla motors, just in case, like I said, I know everybody's got their own favorite brands, and obviously I'm a Ford guy. Those Godzilla motors, that was Ford's answer to the LS. They had the engineers at Ford had to come up with something to sell to Ford brass that they could put into a Ford truck to justify the cost. And the reason why they can do all that, Adam, is because that motor is like a race engine. It's got skirted mains, which means the block comes down lower than the crankshaft mains do. So the crank is up in the block, which makes it sturdier. So the crank doesn't move around. I don't know. It's just the aluminum heads on it. I mean, come on now. A little bit of work. If you're wanting to see one of those get built up, go to Brian Wolf's page. He used to be an engineer for Ford. He retired from Ford and started his own hot rod shop, and he's been doing that Godzilla build. And he can, I think he pushed he got his up to like 1,800 horsepower with a Whipple, but he was easily cracking 1,000, 1,100 on the factory stuff. Pretty impressive. Is that really, Scott? Yes, Robert. Yeah, Ted mentioned that you were going to sponsor my race car, and then we could call it Grim Fish Racing. And so as soon as you can get the money to me, man, we'll put it to good use. Yep. You just got volunteered. We know where all those big bucks are up in Canada. We know that that's just a ploy saying you can't come down here because of your passport. We know better. Well, you need to hurry up and come down though, so we can all get those that fry special at Pro Tinker Toys. I'm going to hold Brian to that if you ever make it down there, and I'm sure everybody on this feed will too. Yeah. Welcome to my world, Robert. Yeah. Dumping all that money on the auto world stuff. Had to pay the first month's rent and deposit at the new place, and then I had to pay a pet fee, and then I've still got to pay rent for this place this next week, and all the bills from this place, and then the utilities from the other place get turned on. So next month I'll have to pay for this place's utilities and the other place's utilities. No, see, that's it, Ed. Is back in the 90s, if you ran in the 12s or the 13s, you were. I mean, that was a thing. Now the way you're laughing, that's what you get laughed at. That's nowadays. Like I said, because kids can go, their parents or any adult, anybody. I'm not going to knock on kids. Anybody can go to any dealership and buy a Ford, a Chevy, or a Dodge, and with just a few modifications, you're running in the 11s or the 10 seconds in the quarter mile. Factory with AC, leather seats, stereo, cruise, tilt, the whole shebang. My race car with no nitrous was only running, mid 10s, and I had no AC, and I had no tilt, and I have no stereo, and yeah. Good, Robert. Yeah, you work on the passport first and get down to PTTs, and then we'll work on the sponsorship for the car. How's that sound? Thanks for volunteering, Ted. Wow. Well, at one point in time we had 26 people, and we're up to 23 now. If you're not on the chat, because obviously I don't see 26 different people in the chat, or 23. I'm sorry. Thank you for joining in. This all this is Saturday's Slot Car Live. It's just talking about slot car stuff or whatever anybody wants to talk about. We can rehash anything that we've already talked about in the past, or someone wants other questions. I mean, that's why I'm here. And if I don't know the answer, there are plenty of smart people in this feed tonight that will know the answer. And if none of us know the answer, I'm sure that we know someone that will. Yeah. Hey, Zim's Aquatics and Hobbies. Thank you for showing up tonight, buddy. No problem, man. It's Saturday night. And did you say you lived in Ozark, Missouri? Zims? If you did, whenever I get my track up and running, you need to come up here and race with us. And Matt, if Patriot Hobbies, Rogersville. Hell, I graduated from Rogersville. You're not. Yeah, whenever I get the track up and running, my friend, whenever I have an open race night, you just, I'll give you directions and you can come on by and you can do some racing with us. That's great, Ted. Dan, are you still on here? Do you feel that way? I know Robert might not feel that way. So yeah, yeah. I like the way how people spend our money. You want asylum? Yeah, Zim. Definitely, dude. Whenever I get the track up and running, um, anybody and everybody that whenever I have a race night, like I said, that's why I got the Viasu system. I'm eventually going to have a point system at the track. So if you've not had a chance to check it out, the Indy Slot Car channel, um, that is exactly what I'm going after. Is somebody's house every week or every other week, and we have an ongoing point series and a night champion of that night. Oh yeah, no, well, I can tell you right now, we'll have an unlimited Mega G Plus chassis class. We'll have a stock Mega G class and an unlimited Tyco, and then obviously more to come. Yeah, cool. And even if you don't have a car, man, whenever we do my IROC stuff and stuff like that, I always have a house car for somebody that doesn't have a car to show up to race. That way they don't have to spend any money to race. So if you don't, even if you don't have a car and you want to come up and race, if we're racing that class, I'll have an extra car. Real simple. But obviously, you know, if you have your own stuff, bring it. You know, that's the beauty of this. I'm hoping I can convince Matt to drive up from Arkansas whenever I get it done. Yeah, it's a 4-lane track. Yep. And then, like I said, it'll be you know, powered, supplied, and wired in with jumpers, and it's going to have the call buttons on every station for every driver. So if you do come off the track, since we have to self marshal, you'll have to kill the power to the track and cause a yellow flag. Oh, cool. IROC sets. Yeah. Yeah. See, that's alligator clips. Yep. That's exactly what I use. Yep. Mm-hmm. And you don't even have to bring a controller, man. Like I said, I got the OS3 IROC series. So if you got your own specific controller that you like to use, bring it. If you don't, then, you know, like I said, it just has to have the alligator clips to screw on, because I'm using the old, you know, nut and screw thing. Oh yeah, no, that's like I said, that's why I I think I'm on the edge of the next wave of slot cars. I'll put it that way. All of us are on the precipice of slot cars exploding again. And there's a method to my madness, and the reason why I think this way. And that is because whether we all like it or not, most of us that are viewing here tonight are 40 years old and up. Most of us that are here tonight had those slot cars when we were younger. As we get older, and the physical hobbies that we used to do become unattainable anymore, or you just don't have the energy to do them anymore, then we slide back into something else. And that's what got me back into the thing. Is like, I was like, I like to race my race car, but not all my friends want to come out to the racetrack, but we all like to do the slot cars. Well, all you had to do, like I said, I posted one video on Facebook. Two people I hadn't even spoken to in over 20 years got a hold of me. And I know whenever I have my track running, they're going to come and want to race. And hopefully they'll get their track set up to be 4-lane, and then we can, go to somebody else's house. But point I'm getting at is as 40-year-olds and older start getting older, they're going to revert back to doing hobbies that they used to do when they were younger or when they were kids. And slot cars is something that, if you're a car guy, is easily to remember. You're either going to get into the diecast, because I didn't realize how big Hot Wheels and diecast are. Huge. I had no clue that it was so popular. But that's from people remembering when they were a kid or just never gave it up. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. As time goes on, electric cars come more into the mainstream, and kids start getting into it. The younger generation, the older generation has already got it established. Then that's why I'm thinking that Mattel is going to try to ride that wave of the new electric vehicle, the new electric grid, supposedly in the U.S. and all that stuff. That's my theory. That's what I see in the future, is more people from the 40s up getting back into the hobby, and then people that are younger that just know nothing about gasoline cars, and all they know about is mommy and daddy's, Scion or whatever, their latest little Tesla, then, or the Mustang Mach-E or whatever. I mean, you can't watch a commercial on a racing show now without them advertising. Even Mercedes-Benz is pushing their electric car. So they'll get you started on diecast. Yeah. That, Robert, that's what we kind of discussed earlier, and that's why I think that they're going to, is because I think that based on the money that they saw Auto World was making off of their license to reproduce, They figured like, why do I just want a little piece of the pie? Why don't I just take the whole damn pie? Because we have better quality control for one, and we can mass, we can hit more places than just Hobby Lobby or um, hobby stores. We can put it everywhere. Kind of like I mentioned, I can't go into one grocery store, a grocery store, for groceries in this town, and there's not at least one pegboard somewhere with Hot Wheels on it. So that tells you the reach of Mattel. And I think that they saw what little distribution and money that Auto World had, and the kind of money that Auto World made off of their license. They're like, well, maybe we need to revisit this again because we still own all the Tyco stuff. We still have all the Hot Wheels electric racing stuff. It's not that hard for us to go right back into it. And I honestly think that that's why they pulled the license. It may not be this year or next year, but I think I think they may be gearing up to come back. And that's my hope. And it's like I told Dan with Slot Valley, I think that if they came back, it'd be better for AFX and it'd be better for Auto World, because if Mattel gets into it, their quality control is way up here. And then AFX will try to match it. And then Auto World is either going to have to match it or die off, because Mattel won't put up with the kind of defects that Auto World routinely has. They force their manufacturers to make shit right. Yeah. Yeah, Ed. Yeah, see the Sizzlers. I got my son a. You ever guys ever seen one of those little? They're the little like 1/43 scale battery. You charged them up on a little battery pack. You stuck them on the track, and they just circled around. Anyway, yeah, the Hot Wheels like that. That was my son's introduction to that, and he didn't care much for it. So obviously we didn't go that much route. I've got speaking of diecast. I know it sounds crazy, but um, when he was growing up, that's what I bought him all the time. He would get cars for Christmas. He'd get them for his birthday. He'd get them for Easter. He got them all the time. And so when he got older, he obviously lost interest in them and they got packed away. So I literally probably have over 1,000 packaged Hot Wheels, Matchbox, whatever, action, collectibles, stuff like that. Oh, see, Robert, that's the thing. It's going to come from China if it's Mattel. But even if it does come from China, they're going to, like I said, they're going to make that manufacturer step up their quality control, so they won't tolerate the Auto World, missing a spring or missing a shoe, or you know, I've got an Auto World. This is no lie. I have to show you that the Auto World Carfiti bus that I have. It's just the body in a sealed cube. They forgot to put the chassis in it. Hey, yeah, no problem, Fry. No, I put everybody's stuff on everybody's. Yeah, see, Hot Wheels for a buck. You know what I'm saying? And that's the other thing too, is if Mattel got into it, they could help keep the price point down, because, like I said, their small orders are huge. Where that might be a whole run for a whole year, like Race Masters, that would be just like a 1/4 run for a Mattel's for Hot Wheels. So I pray that they get back into it, because can you guys imagine? Because they won't they don't have a problem with buying the NASCAR license. They wouldn't have a problem with buying all the licenses to make little F1 cars like they did. They have the money. And if they don't already own the licenses, is my point. So it would be opening up so many more detailed actual race cars that yeah. All you got to do is look through this Tyco book, and it just makes you sick that they don't make cars like this anymore, or this many cars. I'm going to show you guys a page here, and this is what I'm talking about. So this is even when these are the years that Mattel took over. Okay, and you can see that whole page is just nothing but shark-nosed F1 cars. And then on the other side over here, you can see all the different variations of the Ferraris. You know, and they don't do it the Auto World way. These are actual real Ferrari cars that they modeled them after with the real sponsors on all of them. That's what's cool. And then you can see down here, they were even doing the Mattels with the older vets. They were trying to appeal to kids with deliveries stuff, you know, and the four-wheel drives. Like I said, Bennington times 3, yeah. And yes, Joe, you are correct. They run very smooth. I just love them. Like I said, just love them. And that's just, I mean, that's just the shark nose. Here, I got to put my book note back. But this is what I love. Oh, come on now. It's easy to find if I can just find it. It's the one right in the middle. I got so many page markers. Oh, here we go. Look at all those F1 cars. That's awesome. Don't have nothing like that nowadays. Different body styles, different liveries, the real stuff. That's the shit. So, if you own all the licenses, then you can make all these individual cars and do all that stuff. I'll take one of each. Yes. Yeah, that was my goal when I got this book. I was like, oh yeah. I didn't realize, you know, the novice collector thinks that you can just open up a book and then you can just start buying these cars everywhere. Then you realize real quickly you can't buy these cars everywhere anymore. And there's some of them that are really, really hard to find. And some of them are Japan exclusives. You know, yeah. Where's it at? I'll show you. If I can find it real quick. There it is. Okay, so this is the same page that I was showing before, but they didn't. They screwed up and put the Renault F1 Shark Nose on the other page and put this is called the F1 Indy style car. This is the Zero chassis that I was mentioning to everybody. So in other words, it wasn't mass produced. It was only rumored to be made in pictures. So there's a few places. I think I saw the place that I got mine from overseas has it for like $50 right now with a rolling chassis. So you don't even get a real chassis, but that's a Zero car. So that's what's cool about these. And then the one right next to it there, I don't know how well I'm trying to get that's a FedEx car that was never built, but they obviously made a few of them or there wouldn't be a picture of it. So there's some of those out there and I have yet to see one. So yeah, a lot of cool cars. Nowadays, not so much. Hey, Don, thank you for stopping by, man. Appreciate you joining in tonight and your support of the channel. Appreciate it. Look for the Wednesday video coming out this coming Wednesday of the 5 auction cars for next week's Slot Car Saturday Night Live if you're interested, or just stop by and chat with us. And see, Joe Dirt, that's why we went, we started off with a F1 class because they handled better and they stayed on the track better. And then like everybody, you wanted to start going faster. So that's when we started finding different size diameter tires. That's when I started finding the traction magnets, the rear ends, and da. And then I was like, you know, why don't we do a stock car class too? So we would actually let the winner of the last time that we raced pick what series of cars we were going to run that night. It was either going to be F1 cars or we were going to run stock cars, the stock body type cars. And that's with the Mega G Plus chassis. And what I found was is that running those stock cars really fast made me a better F1 driver, because you just start, if you get used to driving your slot car, a stock car, a certain speed, and then you switch over to a F1 car, since the body's lighter and the center of gravity is lower, they handle better and you're able to go faster. And you don't realize how much faster you can go until you start pushing yourself with the stock car body. And then when you hop down into the F1 body, you start flying. It made a big difference on all of us that raced. Yeah, see that, and that's why, Zim. That's why we do the Mega G pluses, because there's the same upgrades are available to everybody. It's not like you're going to have to go out and spend $30 or $40 on a fully balanced, 3 ohm armature, and you're not going to have to go out and buy those silver copper brushes with the silver springs and the, what I'm saying, it's really basic stuff. I mean, you can buy silver pickup shoes and silver pickup springs, and then a rear end and magnets for the traction, and a front end and some tires, and that's about your max. I mean, there's not too much you can't tweak those can motors, so there's the great equalizer. See, there you go. Yeah, because you start pushing that car that doesn't handle as well, and once you get fast doing that, Mike, then you get a car that does handle well, and it just improved you as a driver because you finally learned how to drive the car that didn't handle that well and make it fast, and then you got one that was already fast, and it just makes you faster. It's crazy how that worked. We didn't realize how much of a difference that made with our driving, because we started doing the stock car class like for like 3 or 4 races in a row. And then someone was like, "Hey, I want to go back to the F1 cars tonight." So we did. And then I just noticed our lap times had gone down by, anywhere from 3/10 to half a second. And we had done nothing different to the cars. It was just us driving them. Does anyone have pro stock cars? Well, they've got the Auto World Pro Stock cars, the 4 gears. They have 2 of them for sale right now. The Dino Don Nicholson and the Bill Grumpy Jenkins tribute cars that are Pro Stock. And then Dan bought my last Mopar Pro Stock. Yeah, Robert knows. Yep. And then they made some X-Traction Pro Stock cars, but yeah, they were based on the old 60s and early 70s pro stocks, and not like the new modern pro stocks. Yeah, that one that's in Dan's video, that yellow and blue Mopar, that was one of them that I sold to him. Those look kick ass, and that's the kind of style like the Grumpy Jenkins and the Dino Don is. You can buy them directly from the Auto World store, or you can go to eBay, and they have an Auto World store on eBay. You can buy them there too, but those are Auto World store exclusives, so that's the only 2 places you can buy them. Sox and Martin. Oh yeah, that's one of the older ones that they put on the X-Traction chassis, if memory serves me correct. Oh no, like if you weren't here earlier, I talked about possibly setting up a drag strip next to my car at the drag races and charging kids $5 to race 5 times, and then the winner of the 2 of them wins like a koozie or a drink or something like that, just to try to uh, drum up business to try to sell a $5 koozie, and then B, to try to get kids in slot cars. So I thought about doing that, but I honestly I don't have the time while I'm at the track messing with the car to try to organize, taking money, helping kids race, all that stuff. But yeah, honestly, that's a perfect place for it, is because adults bring their kids with them to the racetrack, and the kids get bored. And so it'd be perfect for them to go, "Hey, I want to go race, Daddy. Give me $20." and that way they can race and have fun. And the next thing they know is they want to buy one, you know, and then that's when mommy and daddy come over to Scott, and Scott hopefully has one to sell. Sock Martin. Brian said so. Oh, that's funny. Hey, cool. I just got a new subscriber. Forrest Walker. Well, Forrest, if you're joining us tonight, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, it's Socks and Martin. Yeah, yeah. Well, you got to remember, though, in Brian's world, things are just a little twisted. You know what I'm saying? If he could eat Chick-fil-A 24/7 and suck on a Coca-Cola, he would be in heaven. Just a guess. Just a guess. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm guessing it's German. Mittermott de Ritter. Thank you for joining. I'm sorry I can't pronounce all that. I'm a hillbilly from Missouri, and my hooked on phonics hasn't got me much past the English language, let alone Mexican or German, or I guess it would be Spanish, not Mexican, but yeah. Yeah, so basically, what the schedule is going to be for my channel, and for the foreseeable future, because this is what I love the most, is the interaction with everybody, and just BSing about slot cars, and answering questions, and sharing tips with everybody, or someone shares a tip on here. So starting next week on Wednesdays, I'm going to put out a promo video for Slot Car Saturday Night Live, and it'll show I'm going to do 5 cars every Saturday night until people tell me they don't want me to do it anymore, and then I'll just do those 5 cars. So it'll give people an idea of, if they're interested in those 5 cars, that they could come and do the live auction on Saturday. And so I'll just kind of do like what Brian and Ryan do at Pro Tinkers. I'll start off with the auction, doing the 5 cars, and then we'll just go right into the BSing, or whatever new hot topic or new car came out, or new trick or new video or whatever, something like that. So I like that program until I get moved, and then I can start doing live unpacking. Then you guys can be there for the journey as we reassemble Scott's man cave and get the slot car room back up and running. Yes, I did, Robert. It sounded like he was saying sucks. To me, it did anyway. Ed, I've not personally. I did buy a Thunderjet. If you watch my Batman video from way back when I did all the Batman exclusives, and tried to show like a little history of the Batmobile, I bought one to race for that very reason, because I haven't ever raced T-Jets before, and other than my Magna tractions like this, and that's as old as I'd honestly gone in the AFX world. So I've never even raced the T-Jets. But I'd like to try to see how fast I can make one of those after seeing Troy at Slot Car Crazy with all of his the fray content. Um, to me, that'd be like the F1 of slot cars to me, because you've got to do so much tinkering within a small box, and that's all that box is, and you got to fit the rules. And they make those cars fly. I don't know if you've ever watched them race, but they fly around the track. And for a non-magnet car to stick as hard as they are, that's amazing to me. Oh yeah, it's definitely worth seeing, because yeah, you get into the Brian's world, and it's a little different than the real world sometimes, without a doubt. Well, I'm just sitting here rambling with you guys. Is there something specific you guys want to talk about? Like I said, I'm having a blast. I mean, Most single guys would be out cruising, trying to pick up women or something like that. I can barely afford to pay attention right now, so I had to go to Hobby Lobby to spend less than $35 just so I could have something to show off tonight. Besides just going over some new stuff for the channel. Hey, Ryburn, I was talking about you tonight too, buddy. Thank you for joining in. Hey, if there's a track and it's got a spec car, I'm in on it. You tell me what kind of car I need to have to race on your track, and I'll build it. I mean, that's how simple it is. That's how bad I want to get a little group together to be able to go to other people's houses and race and do stuff. Like I said, that's the best part about this hobby is getting to share your stuff. What do you do to your car to make it faster? What new part did you see somewhere that helped out, or new video that you saw that someone tweaked something somewhere. I don't have one here, but I did see someone on one of my Facebook channel pages, or yeah, on one of the slot car channels. They had where they had they were 3D printing new Mega G Plus chassis, and then they were taking the CAN motors out and putting them in, and they were direct wiring them to the shoes hangers and taking out that circuit board. And that's something I'm going to try. Non-mags, yeah. Um, Slots and stuff. Check them out on eBay, but he has more stuff on his webpage. Fry. Almost guarantee. I think he's got little bags. He sells like 10 pairs of them. Can't remember how much, but I know I've seen him on his page before. He sells NOS stuff, which is perfect. New old stock Tyco, so it doesn't get much more OG than that. So I would try their slots and stuff is the name of the place. He has a lot of old stuff that a lot of you can tell he went to a warehouse and bought it. You know what I'm saying? He invested some serious cash. So he's got a lot of new old stock stuff from like test shop bodies and just old parts and cars, and it's just sometimes it's a little pricey on stuff, but he who owns it dictates how much it's going to cost you to buy it. So, oh man, no problem. That's why I'm doing this stuff, man. You guys help me, I help you. We all win. And like I said, I may only have less than 500 people on my channel, but I can guarantee you I got some of the best 500 people on my channel out of anybody on YouTube. And I am proud to have every single person on my channel because we are just birds of a feather. We all love this little hobby. We all may race a different type of car or different type of rules, but it's the hobby or sport hobby or whatever you want to call it itself that pulls us all together. Where you're a collector or racer collector like I am, or whatever, it's just fun. Fun, fun. I mean, look at me. I can't even say it without not smiling. I mean, it's just fun. It's a fun hobby, and I think the more people that can just forget about the outside world and dive into this little miniature world for a little bit every day or once or twice a week, it does everybody's sanity a lot of good. It does me good. I mean, you're getting to talk about something you like. It's not about the real world and bullshit politics or none of that crap. It's just your little cars, how they go faster, what new one came out, stuff like that. That's what I like. It's an escape from reality, and you get to, like I mentioned, everybody's racetrack is their own little world, and the good part about it is you're the king of that world, and you get to do whatever you want to with it. Yes, Ed. Yes. And see, Joe, that's another reason why I love. I mean, there's the flexibility of the Tyco chassis. So they've got two chassis, kind of like AFX does with the 1.7 and the 1.5, but they have a wide and a narrow. So here's our wide. And so this would be considered set up as like a 1.5 right now. And then all you got to do is just simply pop off the tires out of and then stick them here in the front. And you just went to a 1.7, just like that. Just that easy. Didn't have to buy a whole new chassis. Snap, 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 done. And then, like you said, every Tyco from the mid 70s up will fit with wide or narrow body. Every single one of them. So even your old mid 70s Tycos chassis will fit with a new modern body, or vice versa. You can put a new modern body on an old Tyco. Awesome idea. Yeah, reason why I mentioned when Adam, I don't know if he's still on here, but the reason why I mentioned that I didn't really make the one Tyco I'd given him more hopped up is because I can feel. See, I put a different arm in these. This is one of my hopped up versions, and yeah. Long story short, you can feel the controller with the factory Mattel controllers. Whenever I had that sight and sound set up, I was trying to run those cars, and they literally pulled so much amperage because those wall warts don't even put out like a full amp. Those things pull so much juice that if one guy was flooring it, the other guy's car wouldn't move. I've got a few lifelike. I bet I can count on one hand how many. Well, no, actually, all those my super trucks as part of my one of my classes that I have for my track is all those are all lifelike. So I guess I got about 15 or less, but I don't collect a lot of them. I just I've got so much money in parts on the Mega G's and the Mega G pluses and the Super G pluses with all those like your Viper chassis and stuff. That's what those are. And then the Harden Creek Viper um, Sportsman series. And then I got all my Tyco parts. I bet I know this sounds crazy, but I bet I got over $600-700 in just parts for all those different series of cars. And then I started looking at Lifelike, and A, they don't make them anymore. B, finding parts like shoes and springs and stuff like that, you have to buy those whole kits. And I know they still sell them, but good Lord, those kits are expensive compared to like the Mega G plus ones. So yeah, I I use them for their bodies, kind of like I do Auto World. Yeah. So I got all those trucks. I got a Mustang. I got a couple of the. I think I got a couple of stock cars. So yes, I got 15 or less of them. But and I can't remember Terry Flynn at Hardin Creek. He did a video and he shows different chassis and different hop ups on them. And I forget which the T or the M chassis. I can't remember which one. Anyway, he done some hop ups to it, and that damn thing flew. So I might have to reconsider. M chassis. See, okay, that's what it was. Yeah, that like I said, it's when you get to making your cars faster when you're wanting to really race them, um, then that's where the money starts coming in. You know, it's one thing to put a pit kit on it and do like Dan does and put a set of magnets and a set of tires on it, but when you start talking putting, you know, rear hubs and different, you know, ring gears and pinions on them and the lighter front ends and motor magnets and armatures and yeah, it's dollar signs. The M's. Okay, yes, these M. I knew it was something like that. Yeah, see, that's what I'd heard. I'm going to get them on my track and find out. That's what the beauty of my bias timing system is. It doesn't lie. I mean, it's going to tell me exactly how fast everything is, and that's how I used to get a car out of the package and run it around the track. And I just knew based on the lap time whether or not I wanted to put all that money or all those parts into that car. And if it wasn't within a 3.5 second lap, bone stock, then I knew that certain upgrades gave me certain speed benefits. Like as an example, the little bicycle front ends that you can buy. those were worth a solid half a second every time. You know what I'm saying? With, 3/10 to half a second, easy. And so I knew if I put one of those on there, but one of those is like, $7. So, do you want to invest that $7? Okay, so yeah, it must be those M chassis that he had, man. Because all I know is that thing, once he put some magnets in it and put a different gear rear end on it, it flew around his little um, Viper track that he had at his house. Yeah, Super G Plus. Yeah, see, Robert, now we have our Mega G class, and it's bone stock. The only thing you can change on it was tires, and that was the reason why we did that. So you wouldn't put any money into a car. So we've got the Mega G class. Those Porsche 962s I told you that I was Scale Auto had on sale for 25 bucks a pop, and I bought all four of them, and then let everybody pick a car and pay me back. And then that was why class was born, was for the to keep the cost down, so you weren't spending a lot of money on it. So those things, I love the Mega G cars. Those things are fast. No, I don't mod. I don't mod every car. No, there's some of mine that all they get is maybe some tires, and that's it. Not even magnets like what Dan does. Just all depends. What like I said, one man's race car is another guy's shelf queen. It just all depends on what you bought it for. The T will cook his pinion before the race finishes. Sounds like an auto world. Oh yeah. Well, guys, I've been on here a couple of hours, and I know there's 27 of you guys. It's 27 people watching, and once again, I want to say thank you. But um, my dogs keeps pacing back and forth, which tells me that I've got to let them out, or they're going to do something in the house here real soon, and I just soon not be cleaning up doggy mess. So I am going to try to kind of wind this down right now, and just I want to personally, honestly, thank you to everybody that has shown up tonight. At one point in time, I got 35 thumbs up. I don't know if that meant there were 35 people watching at the same time or not. I don't care if there was just five of us here. I've had personally had a blast. I hope all of you guys have had fun with this new segment. And this is going to keep going every Saturday night until nobody shows up and I'm just talking to myself. So look for the next video on Wednesday. It's going to be the promo for next Saturday's video. And it's going to have the 5 cars that we're going to start off with next Saturday's show for auction up for sale. No pressure for anybody here to buy them. I'm just trying to offer them cheaper to the people that are subscribers on my channel than I would be whenever they go on eBay. Because like I said, I do have to cover my eBay costs in order to make my $3 to $5, which is all my profit margin that I care to make on. Like I said, I'm here to pay it forward, not to get rich doing it. All I want to do is just have something for my time so that I can turn around and buy more stuff like this. And then hopefully once the channel gets monetized, and I can just start giving away stuff, once a month or something like that to everybody as a way of saying thank you for whatever project that we seem to be working on. So look for the video on Wednesday. As always, if you didn't get to catch it live, please comment below if you've got questions. If you've got something that you see that we were talking about that you want to add to, please add it in there, and I'll bring it up on next Saturday night's video if you're not able to join live. I want this to be a Saturday night. Hey, we have. If you don't have anything going on, it's time to go talk slot cars with Scott and everybody else on the channel, because that's let's have some fun on a Saturday night if we're not going out and doing something like Gale Force. The mayor, he's at a concert, and even he joined in for a little bit while they were on intermission. So, if you got nothing going on a Saturday night, I know as summer gets here, that's probably going to be fewer and fewer, and I can completely understand that. Everybody wanting to get out of their houses, being cooped up all winter like a bear. But until we, like I said, until it dwindles down to hardly nobody, then I'll just keep it going every Saturday night, and we'll just have at least a weekly little fireside chat with Scott and what's going on in the slot car world. And I'll try to show off 5 cars that I'm going to be putting on eBay every week, and you guys can buy them or say pass, and we'll just do 5 new ones every week. And like I said, I keep a constant inventory going, so I can guarantee you there'll be 5 new cars every week that we'll be showing for quite some time. And if no one buys them, like I said, I'll just list them on eBay for sale on Sunday. No biggie. But yes, Ryburn. No, thank you guys. I honestly, everybody, you are all my friends. I know we don't know each other personally. We just know each other from YouTube or PTT or whatever. But whenever I'm talking to other people one to one and face to face, I say my slot car friends on YouTube. They're not you guys are subscribers, yes, but you're my friends, and that's the way I look at it. So friends have each other's back, and you guys have had my back. So I'm going to do everything I can to have your back, and that's the beauty of our community. So that's why I appreciate everybody that takes the time to join in my little HO community and help make all of our lives a little better in some way, shape, or form. So without further ado, I want to thank everybody again for showing up. If you look at any of my promo videos, not necessarily the live ones, but if you look at any of the promotional videos or the latest releases that I put out, I do have a list of all the slot car creators of HO slot car content that I have subscribed to on my channel. If you hear of one that I don't have listed, please let me know so I can subscribe and add them to the list. I am out personally to help, like Dan is, and every other person that makes these videos on YouTube, to try to get the slot car hobby out there and get it rolling again, so that Mattel, for instance, decides that, hey, we need to get back into this, because if they do, we're all winners. Trust me, guys. And that would be a glorious day when we hear that announcement. So without further ado, everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. Have a good rest of your weekend. If you need to reach me, you can reach me commenting on one of the videos. You can reach me via my email. You can reach me on Facebook. However you need to reach out, reach out. And if you got questions, I'll be happy to help you out. Look for the video on Wednesday about the next Saturday's Saturday Slot Car Live, and we'll go from there. Until then, everybody, take care, be safe, light some sparks, and melt some plastic. Have a good night. Bye-bye.